There's breaking news coming in. Indian Air Force training aircraft crashed near Bogapura near Chamrajnagar district in South Karnataka. Light aircraft crashes near Chamrajnagar. Visuals are there on your screens. Two pilots managed to escape and ejected themselves from the flight before the crash. So the pilots have escaped. They've ejected themselves from the flight before the crash. The Indian Air Force training aircraft crashed near Bogapura village in Chamrajnagar district. Sagara joins us. First up, Sagai, how did this happen?
Information what we are gathering from the spot is probably this might have happened due to a fire crack or a fire which was caught on mid-air when this particular light training aircraft was being used by two pilots. And the pilots have escaped themselves when they ejected through parachute. And they have been identified as Tejpal and Bhumika, and they have been shifted to the hospital to monitor further. As of now, what we get to learn is they haven't suffered any kind of serious injuries. They have found out that there was some glitch and immediately ejected themselves, and they are safe. And the police personnel along with fire brigade were at the spot and those of the fire. And remember that this particular incident is a second incident, and Chamrajnagar is very close to Ooty, where last year we found that Air Chief Marshal who had died when his particular aircraft had collapsed.
I'd like to know which model was this aircraft because we've seen many crashes in the past as well. So which was this model?
It's a trainer aircraft. That's what we get to learn so far. It seems to be U-692 trainer aircraft which has caught fire in the mid-air. And what we also get to learn is that it was on a routine training sortie. And both aircrew ejected safely, and it was a Kiran trainer aircraft of IFA, which has crashed in Chamrajnagar.
Larger questions are rising on why do we see so many crashes of Indian Air Force aircraft?
Absolutely, because we have seen that a couple of aircraft which has collapsed even in North India, and even we have seen of late in Ooty when Air Chief Marshal had died when one of the aircraft had collapsed. And remember, Chamrajnagar is a neighboring district. Though it is in Karnataka, it is a neighboring district just a few kilometers away from there. It is Kunnur. And again, one more training aircraft had collapsed in Chamrajnagar, and it is a shocker again. And thankfully, nobody injured or no casualties which has been reported as of now. Both of them have ejected and saved themselves using parachute. And there is also
so the two pilots on board, there were two pilots escaped and ejected themselves from flight right before the crash. So there are no casualties, correct?
You're absolutely right. There are no casualties. Two of them have ejected themselves, and they have been identified as Bhumika and Tejpal. And they were training pilots, and they were using this particular aircraft for a regular routine sortie training. And that's when it has collapsed near Chamrajnagar, and it collapsed in a farmland in Chamrajnagar district of Karnataka.
Any official statement coming in from the Indian Air Force in terms of why this crash happened and how it happened?
It is all subject to investigation. Probably once they go ahead and probe on this, they will get to know why exactly this particular crash has happened. But primary information has revealed that probably this particular aircraft caught fire in mid-air when they were trying to do sortie, and that might be one of the reasons why it has collapsed.
And any kind of action that the Indian Air Force is likely to take to reduce accidents in the Indian Air Force? There's an urgent and necessary need to induct new jets so that one can continue to retain and sharpen our fighting capability from India.
So these are the things that the Indian Air Force which have to ascertain in the days to come, which they have to take cognizance of it and try to ensure that these kind of incidents should not be repeated, and there should be enough precautionary measures should be taken much before taking off any kind of aircraft. Remember, this is just a light training aircraft, and it was on a routine sortie when it was heading towards Chamrajnagar, and that's when it has collapsed. So now Indian Air Force have to ascertain what exactly went wrong and how it has caused these kind of mid-fire and crashed. And they should also investigate and find out what is the reason behind, and there is any kind of lapses behind this by the pilot or by the staff of that particular training center. So these are all subject to investigation. Once investigation is done, probably they will submit a report. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, that the AIF, the Indian Air Force, should also take cognizance of this and ensure that these kind of incidents should not be repeated, because these kind of incidents send a wrong message to the society.
Where are the pilots now who escaped? Any injuries?
They have not suffered any kind of injuries. We get to learn that it was just minor injuries, and they have ejected themselves. And what we also get to learn through our sources is they are being airlifted to Bengaluru for further treatment, and we are waiting for an official statement on the same.